This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello folks, my name's David Edgar. I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight after Rangers' utter humiliation in Belgium when we lost 6-0 to Bruges. And normally on these podcasts I go through the game and things we could have done better or things that were good. It's not possible tonight, not after watching that. That was humiliation. Rangers simply couldn't do anything. The defence was embarrassing. They can't do the basics. And in a first half where Bruges completely tore Rangers apart at will, they looked like a side who simply weren't professional. And this is the end for Russell Martin. It has to be. The fans didn't want him. They don't want him. We're not going to change. And the team is getting worse every single match. And I know there'll be people in the comments saying, oh, you need to tell him at a press conference. Trust me, that doesn't change anything. I wish it did. The people who need to make the decision, the only people who can make the decision are the owners, Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart. And the only time you get a chance to tell them what you think is at games. And I'm sure on Sunday, even though it's an Old Firm game, the fans will be doing exactly that, because that tonight was a capitulation. And Russell Martin's talked a lot since he came in, but the evidence that we are seeing is Rangers are getting worse week by week, game to game. If he hasn't lost the dressing room, then it's a case of he never had it. Tonight, the team selection was odd, no Raskin, no Tavernier, and that proved disastrous after just a few minutes. We were ready to go down by this stage, of course, the first attack, when Rangers defence just stood there and watched as they do a lot. And then Maxi Aarons got himself sent off with a last man pull on the Bruges forward. We've all played football. That's, I don't want to be here. That's chucking it. He chucked it. And to be honest, I would just send him straight back down the road to Bournemouth tonight, because he does not have the heart to play for this club at all. And after that, it just got worse and worse. And Bruges, every time they came forward. Jack Butland actually should be spared any blame tonight, because he very much did his best and he kept it probably in single figures, if we're being honest. Bruges got one at the start of the second half and then declared, essentially. Still dominated, but then basically thought that's enough, and I'm glad they did, because if they'd wanted it tonight, it could have been double figures. That's not, I wouldn't expect that from any professional football manager, to send out a team so ill-equipped, so badly under-prepared for a match like that. The guy is totally out his depth, and he should never have been appointed. It really is that simple. We all make mistakes in life, but that happens. But what you then need to do is admit it and try your best to atone for it. And what the Rangers board, owners, whatever you want to say, they need to sack Russell Martin tonight. If it's not tonight, tomorrow morning, first thing. I don't care the fact there's an Old Firm game. Who cares, you know? But if that's what we're going to get, it's going to be a slaughter as well. We need to accept that whatever it was they were trying to do hasn't worked. Get rid of them and bring in a manager that knows what they're doing in terms of just putting together a side that can go out and compete. None of the fancy overcoaching stuff that sounds great on Monday Night Football. People in like Gerrard, like Sean Dyche, people like that will come in and change the mentality at this football club. That was a weak team full of losers tonight, and they were swatted aside by a decent Belgian side. They're not a great side, Bruges, they're decent, but anyone could have beaten us tonight. Genuinely, Rangers would have struggled against anyone tonight, because when you can't do the basics, any of them, when you can't mark, when you can't compete, when you can't win tackles, when you can't make accurate passes, when you look as though you're frightened anytime the ball comes into your section of the pitch, never mind when you have it, then that's what's going to happen. Russell Martin has been a disastrous appointment. Rangers FC need to face up to it. The fans have given up totally on him. The fans, unfortunately, have been proved right. This is what they thought. This is what the vast majority of fans thought we would get, and that's what we're getting. It's time for the board to act. If they don't, they'll hear it at games, what the fans think of this guy, because he's so far out his depth, it's scary. That was a humiliation. That can't happen. You can lose. You can be beaten. I've seen Rangers beaten in Europe before, but you cannot perform like that, where it looks as though every single facet of the game is beyond you. So, for me, that's it. Time is up, and we're now just waiting for the change, because it's going to happen now. He's too far gone with the support. So do your job. Patrick Stewart, Kevin Thelwell, and the scrutiny will be on them as well for picking him in the first place, but do it now.